I wish to create a perfect human being, selecting the best organs from different corpses. I wish to create a perfect human being, selecting the best organs from different corpses.
5 innocent people killed, not a sign of a human. 5 innocent people killed, not a sign of a human.
Have you ever had to wake yourself up from a cheese dream nightmare in the middle of the night because you were being chased by pumpkins that had grown huge feet and were chasing you running down the street? No? Okay. Well, let's build that nightmare. Hi and welcome back to Terrain by Aaron. So from my previous build, which was the pumpkin house, I had loads of leftover pumpkin heads. So after my cheesy dream nightmare, I decided to make some feet from cutting beads in half, and using guarding wire I attached the feet to the heads to make like little running pumpkins. So here I am just attaching the wire to the legs and then super gluing everything together and using baking powder just to bond it and make it all stick.
Nosferatu, the medieval vampire in the remote regions of Transylvania. Nosferatu.
So once I've completed making my pumpkin army, I'm just going to use this cutting mat as a base. As you can see, I'm not doing any real measurements. I'm just making the base to what I think would fit on the shelf. The black line is where I want the fence to be, and I'm just going to use some barbecue matchsticks as the posts, and then some popsicle sticks that I'm going to cut down and just rough up to make the fence posts. So if anybody watched the pumpkin house build, this is the same technique I'm using for that fence as for this fence, which is just basically I'll chop the curved corners off, and then I will scratch up with my hobby knife, split it into two, and then just give it a little bit of edging just to make it more sort of realistic and keep it in scale, or try to keep it in scale with the pumpkin heads. So I've just cut a fence post, and I'm just trying to scale it to the pumpkin head. Once I'm happy with the size, I'll just start cutting out from the barbecue firelighter.
The medieval vampire in the remote regions of Transylvania.
5 innocent people killed, not a sign of a human. 5 innocent people killed.
I'm just using gaffer tape here just to hold the posts in place while I hot glue everything together, instead of me trying to chase it around the workbench. So I'm not being too careful with how they all look. I just want them to look like a fence but cartoony, a bit like a Scooby-Doo fence. And as you can see, stuck it onto the base, painted it black, and now I'm just going over the fence with a burnt sienna, and then I'm going to use some dry brushing just to bring out the texture a little bit. Not too bothered about getting the paint on the black base because that's going to get covered shortly. So it's just going to be brown and then a lot of highlighting.
Nosferatu, the medieval vampire in the remote regions of Transylvania. Nosferatu, the medieval vampire in the remote regions of Transylvania.
Just finished the dry brush of grey, and I'm just doing the same technique for the signpost, and then I'm going to move on to a little bit of dry brush of green on the fencing, just to give it a little bit of a mossy sort of feel to it. I'm happy with how the fence looks. I'm then going to hit it with I think it's a latte colour just on the edges, the highlights, just to highlight the edges of the fence panels.
Nosferatu, the medieval vampire in the remote regions of Transylvania. Nosferatu, the medieval vampire in the remote regions of Transylvania.
So I'm just covering the base with strong PVA glue before I get ready to season the entire base with a mixture of shop-bought flocking and herbs and spices that I've borrowed from the other half's cupboard. I found some bits of cork that I forgot I'd had, so I just thought I'd give it a little bit of a texture on the floor so it didn't look all just sort of flat. So just doing that for that bit, and then I'm just carefully selecting my herbs and spices just to give it a little shake before I season the base. Once I'm happy how the base looks, a little bit more sprinkle just for look, and then I'm just going to make a mixture of watered down PVA glue just to get everything set. Leave it to dry, and then all I need to do is just add the pumpkins. I found these little tufts of turf and flowers, so I just thought I'd just add some just to sort of like break up the texture. And I'm just gonna apply the pumpkin army, and it's ready for its glamour shot. So this build came out of a Cheesy Dream Nightmare, and if you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe, and I shall see you very soon. Thanks for watching.